Amanawa, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash. The bar speaks to the elder house, great millstone, trust in the spirit, peace and love, and salutations to the Lord of Israel, you so-called Negroes, that change American strong, the truth is from this Bible. I tell them got a seat in 2022. Haste their phone to go Yahushai. The Lord's going to let this last we're going to be here. Alright? And we're going to do a quick video on all nations are going to be like Balaam when we get set back on high. See, because all nations are going to have that fear of the nation of Israel within them, like Balaam. See, because Balaam feared the nation of Israel. Well, ultimately, Balaam feared the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Because he knew the Most High Yahweh was a true power. So, when Yahweh Shai comes back, all these other nations are going to worship us. They're going to be afraid to speak against us, man. That's why the Most High is going to exalt us above all nations, like the scriptures say, man. Now I'm gonna get this Numbers 23. I'm gonna get to the point. You can read Balaam about 23 to 24. It speaks about Balaam. We're gonna get both chapters. We're gonna kind of skip around to the spirit. But it's Numbers 23 and verses. I'm gonna get verse 5. And the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, "Return unto Bula, and thus thou speak." And he returned unto him, and lo, he stood by his burnt sacrifice, and all the prince of Moab. And he took up the parable, and he said, Balak, the king of Aram, out of the mount of the east, saying, Come curse me, Jacob, and come defy Israel. How will I curse whom the Most High have not cursed? Or how shall I defy who the Lord have not defied? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I beheld him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and he shall not reckon among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob and the number of the fourth part of Israel?
Hey, and that shows you're supposed to be a separate people.
Yeah.
We say there's a people that dwells alone.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be amongst these other nations, man.
No.
We're not supposed to be in this one world government, in this new world order shit, man.
Yeah, when he saw an evil.
You know?
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be hand joined in hand with this devil, man.
No.
We're supposed to be separated from this devil, man. That goes back to Genesis, what's that, 11th chapter?
Yeah.
Where the Lord split up the nations and he confused the tongues. And he separated the bounds of the people by the Israelites, man. But the people were separated. The nations are supposed to be separate. All the nations are supposed to be separate. We're not supposed to be joined until hand in hand until one another. You know?
Yes, and both sides are separatists.
That's right.
You know, because even when Yahweh Shai said he come back, he said he's going to separate. He's going to separate the nations.
Instead of division.
So you know, we're not supposed to be together. We're supposed to be separate.
That's right.
But when they said that Israel is basically, let me read it again. This is Numbers chapter 23 and verse I'm gonna get verse 9. Well, no, verse 10. Who can count the dust of Jacob and the number of the four parts of Israel?
That's right.
So that goes right back to what was the shit was that? Damn. Amos, was that Hosea?
You want to sing it?
Yeah. I'm gonna grab it. Hosea 1 and 10. Yeah, Hosea. Yeah. It's Hosea chapter 1 and verses 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered.
That's right.
It shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall it be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. And that's it. That's who we are. We are the sons of the living power. And that goes right back to being what? The sons of the living power. We are princes to the heirs of the throne. That's why Yahshua Allah, he is Prince Power. So we are princes to the throne of Yahweh, of the Most High and His Son. Alright? Because that's our heritage. That's what Jacob fought for. That's why Jacob wrestled the angel, so we can be called that, so we can be called the sons of the Most High.
Right.
So we can be called, let me grab that too in Genesis. Let's grab that. Alright, this is Genesis. That's the whole reason why Jacob fought with the angel for that blessing. To receive that blessing, we could be called the sons of the living power. All right. This is Genesis chapter 32. Yeah, it's just 32 and I'm gonna get 27. And he said unto him, what is thy name? He said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with the Most High, with men and has prevailed. And that's it, spot with power. So Most High says so. It's back in Genesis 32 and 27. And he said unto him, what is thy name? He said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with the Most High, and with men and prevail. Because angels, because what? He want that blessing. To be called what? To be called what? Israel. To be called what? The son of the living power. To be called one of the sons of the living power. So that's, and we're blessed to have that name. We're blessed to be called the name, the be certain name after our forefather, which is Israel. Which means we are the sons of the living power. Now let's back in Numbers 23 and verses back where I left off at verses 10. Who can count the dust of Jacob and the number of the fourth part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his. And Balak said unto Balaam, what hast thou done unto me? I took thee to curse my enemies, and behold, thou hast blessed them altogether. And he answered and said, must I not take heed to speak that which the Lord hath put in my mouth? And Balak said unto him, come and pray thee with me unto another place, for whence thou mayest see them, thou shalt see, but thou must die. So Balaam prophesied of Yahushua without knowing that he prophesied about Yahushua. Because Yahushua is the one that's going to have all nations be subject unto him when he comes back. And that's why he's going to sit upon the throne of David. Because David had all nations under him. So as Yahushua will sit on the throne of David, what that means what? He's going to have all nations under him.
Hey, let me right quick. I just want to try to read this right quick. This is Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom, the dragon of the wilderness, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Yeah, because Esau got after 70 AD, we got thrown up, but then Jacob also revolted. That's what he had the West. West Rome. Okay. But anyway, Esau, that's the truth. Because why Esau came back into power, he rebuilt himself back up. Right? Sorry about with Europe, the bottomless pit. And also, when you read that the 17th chapter, he's the fourth beast. And he saw rule for a short time. Now let's talk about Great Britain. Because nowadays they ruled for a short time. And Esau sprung out of that, from up out of there. And that's also Jeremiah 50 speaks about what? If thy mother shall be ashamed of thee, which talking about Great Britain. That's what all these Edomites come out of it. Yeah,
I got you. This is Malachi 1 and 14. Okay? But cursed be the deceiver. I'll do this shit and drive at the same time.
Which one you get?
I got you. But this is Malachi 1 and 14. But cursed be the deceiver which hath in his flock a male, and vowed and sacrifices unto the Lord a corrupt thing. Yeah. For I am a great king, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen.
And that's it. The Most High name is dreadful among the heathen, because the name Yahweh is dreadful. And that's why you got them so-called Jews, them Amalekites, right? And they're nothing but Edomites. But they go in there, they pray to the wall. They always say, and they say Hashem Hashem, which that only means in the name. So who are you speaking about?
Right.
And then they go to say in the Torah where they say, well, we know the name of the Lord, but we're not supposed to say it. We're not holy enough to say it. Well, that's why, because by the Most High's name is dreadful among the heathen. That name Yahweh is dreadful, because a lot of nations were in fear of that name. We did the walls of Jericho. We did in the name of Yahweh. When we came out of Egypt and we passed by Esau, and they were in fear because they knew that the Hebrews were out of captivity. Yup, the name of Yahweh. So the heathens, they fear that name. And that's why Isaiah 59:19 says, but they shall fear the name from the Lord from the west, and from the rising of the sun. And the enemies are coming like a flood. The Lord shall speak a standard against them. So they're speaking about what us. That's why we have the name of the Lord. And that's why Esau is afraid of it. Because the name of the Lord is being pushed out. So by us preaching the name of Yahweh, right, by Hashem Yahushua, it's a fear unto these heathens. It's a scary thing. Because under that name, we had them under subjection. They don't want that to happen.
But in that time, that was just the name of Yahweh at that time. Because, it was, Yahweh was doing so much work, and they was afraid. So that's why Balaam told Balak, like, hey, man, fuck this shit, bro. I ain't about to fuck with them.
Yeah, he did, because he knew the power. He knew the power of the Lord.
I ain't fuck with Yahweh. Yahweh's a terrible power, man.
So this is back in Numbers 24. This Numbers chapter 24, verses back in 18. Back in 17. Yep. I'm gonna get 18. And Edom shall be a possession, and Sarah also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. And out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city.
That's right.
And when he looked, Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And see, that's you Jews, man. You so-called damn Amalekites. All right. You fake ass Jews. Hey, the Most High gonna do it with you. You see, because that's Obadiah. That's Obadiah. Speaks about what? The house that shall be no more remaining of the house of Esau. And you're of that house, scripture, and Most High said that I would have war for Amalek for what? Forever. That's right. So Amalek, you have great judgment coming to you because you stole our identity, man.
And you need to go back to the Bible. John Bible dictionary telling that.
Yeah, Amalek.
And they wrote it. It was a fucking Amaleks that wrote it.
And they wrote it. A lot of them top scholars are them Amaleks. Or them Amalekites.
They wrote that shit. They'll be done away with forever.
Them so-called, what they call themselves, Israelis.
That's right.
Which that's not even the scriptures. It's not even the Bible. Now this is Numbers 24 in verses I'm gonna get 20-21, and he looked, and the Canaanites, and took up the parable, and said, strong is thy dwelling places, and thou puttest thy nest in the rocks. Nevertheless, Canaan shall be a waste until Asher shall carry thee away captive. And you Canaanites, or you Hamites, all right, you Hamites. You what you call so-called Africans nowadays. That's living in South Africa, and that's all throughout a lot of the parts of Africa, man. Ghana, So a lot of you niggas were born in captivity too.
Israel,
Canaan, the Ethiopians,
and Cush.
Because you all go back to him. See. And so your ass is going down, man. All you heathen nations are going to be subject back up to Israel. And this is prophecy. And the prophecy of Balaam haven't came to pass.
Right.
He was a Moabite.
Right.
He was a Moabite.
Right. But
the Most High had him do that for what? Because he understood and knew that Israel was the power to be. And was soon to come in the future. Right. And he spoke about Yahushua.
Promise went to Abraham. And his seed. And he understood that with the promised land. The promise went to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, and then to the 12 tribes of Jacob.
That's it. This is Isaiah 2 and verses 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountain, and and shall be exalted above the hills and all nations.
That's right.
So we're going to be exalted above all nations.
That's right.
Which mount means government. So we're going to be the highest government to ever be seen, the house of Israel.
That's right.
Right? And under Yahweh Shai. And we're going to be a complete government under our Lord Yahweh Shai. We're going to rule all nations.
That's right.
We're going to have everything subject unto us. And so Balaam had understood that. And all nations are going to be like Balaam. They're not going to want to curse us. They're going to think twice about talking shit about us, man. See, now, and right now, we live right now in a time of Babylon the Great. Esau, they talk shit about us. They say little smart things about us, you know what I'm saying? These other little nations, oh, the nigger, you know, they make fun of us. They make mockery of us. But soon, that's going to all be done away with. Because when Yahweh Shai comes, he's going to put forth the water upon the earth. And if you're not going to get down with that, according to Isaiah chapter 60 and 12, that nation shall be utterly wasted.
Yeah.
That nation king that will not serve you, yea,
right.
those nations shall be utterly wasted.
Right.
So you're going to be utterly wasted if you're not going to serve the house of Israel. Or if you have a problem with serving us, you're going to get put down. All right?
I would say that in Matthew, he that will not serve you, bring him hither and slay him.
Was that Luke 13 and 3?
Yep. Hey, right quick, a quick point on that. When you read Psalms 2 and 2, a quick point on it is in the last days, the mountain of the house of Israel. So in the last days, so this is the last days, we're becoming, it's going to happen even before the kingdom hits. Because when all hell break loose, hey, we're going to be the power on earth.
Yeah.
The Lord going to have his men saved up. And the Lord going to have his men in a position where they're going to be untouched. The women going to be flocking to us. You know what I'm saying? So in the last days, it's going to start then. That's why they should say in the last days, bro. You know what I mean? So our power is going to give us the power on this earth when this shit is in chaos and in turmoil. So Balaam understood that when the shit hit the fan, hey, they going to be all right. You know, hey, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of that time, man. Isaiah 33 and 6. You know, hey, man, this is the wisdom and knowledge of these scriptures. The understanding of these scriptures, being able to go into these scriptures, man. Right? Because we're going to have this full understanding that in the last days, like Isaiah, Isaiah 2 and, Isaiah 2 and 2. It says, you know, in the last days, they gonna come and serve and worship at our feet, at the behest of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay? And that's power, man. And that's power. That's before the Yahushua even touched down on the earth. They gonna be coming worshiping, trying to praise us, man. You know? Hey, here's another one in Psalms 20. You get that one? Psalms 22, I think it's 7. Nice. 22 and 27. 22, 26, 22, 27. It's like, it's double. 22, 26, 26. Yeah, 22, 26, 27.
The Psalms 22
Or it's 27.
and 26. The meek shall eat and be what's that? It's satisfied. The meek shall eat meat. It shall be satisfied.
Hey, who's the meek? We are. We're the meek. In that time, in the last days, the meek shall eat and they shall be satisfied.